What's up, and welcome to another episode, Master Moats Film Session. And today, man, we're going to break down what happened on that 98-yard touchdown pass from Gabe Davis to start out this Bills game. But before we go any further, man, make sure you like the vid, subscribe to the channel if you have not, and hit that notification bell as well. So, coverage-wise, man, Steelers are playing just a basic cover one, okay? But what they're also doing on top of this, and I'll put him right here, is this, man. They're bringing some pressure. That's Robert Spillane. They're going to blitz him. Minka Fitzpatrick delay blitz, okay? Got Miles Jack, he's in coverage on the tight end. And then for Mallette, who's right here, he's going to give you a little body position on Stephon Diggs, who is at the top of the screen. But ultimately, he's another free defender, so to speak, right here, all right? But what ended up happening is this, man. When you're talking about the safety play in the corner, all right? These two dudes, in terms of Levi, who's right here, he feels like he has hope inside because you guys, your inside safety right here is cover one, okay? But a couple of things. First off, from Levi, and we'll focus on him first before we get to Norwood. Levi's giving off coverage, nice cushion here, okay? And that's fine. And a couple of things when you're talking about having a cushion, you want to be in a pedal, but you want to be a little bit slower out of this thing because obviously you got stop routes, out breaking routes, in breaking routes, but you know you have the safety to help you. And it's backed up, so it's kind of like catch-22 right here. Are you anticipating them just trying to get one first down so they can get some space to punt the ball, which typically is the case? Or are you worried about them saying, hey, we're going to play beyond the sticks and actually take a shot right here? Buffalo Bills, in this particular instance, they take the shot. When I look at how Levi's playing this, he's in his pedal, but I don't think that he believes that this is going to be a deep shot play right here. Now, I would say that, hey, when you see this guy this far downfield, he's about, 7-8 yards, and he's still high knees, high elbows, you might need to start, opening up here. But from here, it's a little bit too late because now, in the words of Randy Moss, if I'm even, I'm leaving. You can see these two guys are even, all right? And now he's able to run away from Levi. Now it just becomes a foot race. Levi takes the dive, ultimately not able to get him. We obviously know how this play ends. All right. But that was the Levi Wallace element of this thing. Like I said, the off coverage is fine. But when you're going to do that, when you're playing this technique, you need to be ready to go. Right now, you got to get on your horse and run. Now, when you're playing off, it does become more athlete versus athlete because you're going to have to react to him and he's going to get a full head of steam. He's going to be able to feel confident with his release. So that is some of the cons to it. Now, the pros are you got big vision. You're able to break down on some of these outbreaking plays, and typically on 3rd and 10 backed up, you're only going to get, in outbreaking routes, stop routes, a little bit more safer throws, but the Buffalo Bills, we know they're aggressive. So that was, like I said, the big issue in terms of what went wrong for Levi on this play. All right. Now let's look at what happened with Norwood. Okay. And again, Norwood, middle of the field safety here. Okay. Couple things is this, man. Norwood's depth, pre-snap, sure. He's a little tight, but he's still good because right now he's going through the same thought process I just told you, right? It's 3rd and 10, it's backed up. So you're playing that game of, are they going to take a shot and be aggressive to start this game, 3rd play of the game? Or are they going to do your more traditional stuff? So he wants to be aggressive. He doesn't want to give up anything inside, giving up ultimately a first down. And that's fine. But this is the issue right here, man. You got to know you, and you have to know who you're dealing with as well. So right now, Norwood's eyes are correct in terms of understanding this is what I want to look at. And he is correct in terms of his leverage being inside because Levi is on the outside. But the problem is the angle. He goes way too flat, and now he is not fast enough to keep up with this guy right here. Now, I know it doesn't seem like much, but because he was more shallow versus staying high and playing it high to low, now he puts himself in this bind where it has to be who's the better athlete, who's the faster player right here. And that's ultimately how he gets in trouble because you see he took that extra step, that's the little divot right there, and now it's a foot race. And once again, if he is even, he is leaving. So from there, you just got him just outrunning him. Trey tries to get a hand on him, but ultimately too far away. Takes that peek in the backfield. It's one of those things like, man, when you're in coverage, if the guy gets separation, do not look back. Yes, the quarterback is going to throw it there, man. And from there, like I said, man, just not able to keep up with this guy. But for Norwood, man, this is more so just a young player. And this is some of the things you have to learn, you have to adjust to. You have to know, man, what this guy is capable of, what you are capable of, and ultimately the situation, but ultimately who else are you going against? This is Josh Allen. He will be aggressive. He will take chances. So hindsight being 2020, instead of playing this thing tight like this and staying close and almost daring Josh to beat you, daring them to be aggressive and putting it in a position where they can challenge you, give yourself just a couple more steps, man. Give yourself a couple more steps. It doesn't have to be drastic where you're talking about aligning back here pre-snap. Now, obviously, he could take that approach if he wanted to really be blatant and ultimately influence this to be more of an in-breaking route or a little bit more shallower and flatter. You could take that alignment. But when you're this tight on this play right here, man, it forces you to be correct. It forces you to guess right. If this guy is breaking in, you'll be right. If this guy breaks out, you'll be right. But when he decides to go vertical, you put yourself in a bind. You put yourself in a foot race. And this is one of those ones where you ultimately lost right here, man. But just coaching point for both of those guys, man, in terms of working together going forward so this doesn't happen again. But that was only one part of the equation because, like we said, man, this was blitz. So whenever you're in one-on-one coverage on the outside, it's also one-on-one coverage in the rush. And the two guys to highlight here, you got Robert Spillane and Minkah Fitzpatrick. All right, now this is actually the only QB hit that we had in this game, which is crazy to think about and kind of sad as well. But both of these guys, man, are going to be blitzing. Okay, now for Spillane, he is blitzing with a true one-on-one on the tight end. For Minkah, it's a delayed blitz. All right, so with these two guys in particular here, Spillane, he gets his one-on-one, right? This is one-on-one. Him versus 89. Talk backs on backers. This is what we're looking. This is what we're trying to get. Coach Tomlin doesn't scheme up blitzes for free rushers. He schemes up blitzers for one-on-ones. So we have a one-on-one right here. TA included. Terrell Austin, the DC. Just want to throw that out there. All right. What you getting your one-on-one right here? It's not a win. Unfortunately, that is not a win, man. 8-9, or that tight end does a good job fitting Spillane up, washing him by. It's no pressure right here. All right. Let's look at the other side of this rush. Let's look at Minkah, okay? Talked about Minkah right here. He's on the delay, right? Let's see what my man Minkah does. Shows in the B in terms of giving that little pre-snap illusion. And the subtle, I'm going to act like I'm going to drop because he is a DB. Most of the time, they'll paint DBs as, hey, man, he's not in the rush. So that was just to kind of get these guys to not look at him. And it works, right? Mitch Morse kind of has eyes out here, but 7'6", his eyes over here, okay? And that's ultimately how Minkah is able to get this type of free rush. But the problem is this, because it is a delay, Josh has time. He still has time. So right here, he's already cutting it loose. And yes, he gets hit by Minkah, and it's a good, clean hit. But Josh is already able to get this ball off and, you know, set his feet and stuff like that. And ultimately, that's how you get this type of situation right here. But when you're talking about one-on-ones, man, your blitzers have to win. Spillane has to win right here. All right. Spillane on 8-9. You got to win this. And then for Minkah, man, I know it's a delay and I know you're doing a good job of your disguise, but you ultimately have to come a little bit faster in terms of bringing the pressure here. So that way you can affect this throw because you get the hit, but ultimately with this coverage and that rush being a little bit late, this ends up being the end result right here, man. So that is ultimately what happened on this 98-yard touchdown pass from Josh Allen to Gabe Davis to start the game out, man. Hope y'all enjoyed the vid. Appreciate you tuning in. And until next time, baby. Peace.